essentially. Start streaming. Okay. Let's see. Now I'm live, which I'm now glad that it is. Okay. Hello, Uniquarians. I'm Joel Boganjoko, and welcome to Uniquaria Sounds. If you'll hold on a second, I just gotta get something started. Boom. And music has started. Okay. I don't know if you'll hear it yet. It's coming in. Sorry, I'm just getting moving things around. I'm really sorry that I don't know. Okay, let me just get started. All this that I'm just doing right now does relate to what I'm going to continue with. So this is a third update. I already did the final update beforehand. I really needed to do this way because there wasn't really enough time to like prepare this one and get it all like edited and uploaded before 3, which is when I wanted this to start. But of course they actually started at 3:08, which is fine. I didn't realize I had to go through more steps than usual to get this whole thing started. But I'm glad that I actually now have it set up. It's now ready. It's now finished. It's, well, finished. So, like I said, I did finish the final update before this, and I forgot to add a couple of people to the thank yous, because that's what the final update is about. The first person is Ryan, who helped me with all the audio for the medley. Him and his professor offered to set up the sound system in the School of Music, which is where the music was being performed. And like, if they hadn't offered to help, there would be no sound for the medley, or at least no like authentic sound from the actual performance, which would definitely have been upsetting. And then another one of the sorry, how do I put this? Another one of the families that like my family is close to, I need to thank them for always like being there whenever I need a place to visit while I'm not in Columbia, in Charlotte, and my parents aren't like close to here. I can always go to them to like stick around, and just like my auntie Shala, who like whenever I've been down and I had to talk to somebody and it was like on Facebook or anything like that, she was always one of the first people to be around to like talk to me or and stuff like that. So I need to thank her. As for the rest of this update, it's gonna relate heavily to openness, which is actually part of the reason why I wanted to do a live stream, because there is a lot of editing that I do. For these updates, I've tried to do as little editing as possible, just because like there's a lot more between all the cuts that I need to do that relates to how I think, how I act, like just these things that I feel are important to how I'm going to be continuing with the rest of this channel and stuff like that. Let's see. I just want to quickly check something out. And I'm also really thirsty. I'm really sorry. I did not completely set up for this. So if you could hold on for just a couple seconds. I also didn't realize that, didn't remember to set up so that the music continues if I transition. There were a lot of things I did not prepare for, but that's just how it is. And that's just, I mean, I prepare a lot, but in a sense, that's also just another thing that I get wrong, I guess. Not always preparing completely. So I kind of wanted to go through a couple things. First, my English class, which I said in the last update that I need to talk a bit more about that. Actually, I'm really gonna have to start with this openness thing. So, I have been always going back and forth with that. Going back and forth with how open I am about, like, just, I guess, who I am, like, what I do, and sort of like professionalism versus, you know, variety and everything. Hold up. That's not always professional. But I realized that there's a problem with that is that it doesn't always seem so authentic in a way. I am an absolute stickler for authenticity, especially with myself. I don't like lying. I don't like trying to create a facade, which I feel as if that was what I was doing throughout the first half of the semester. I was trying to, like, show myself of something, like, just trying to show my true self, but also trying to put, like, a facade on it, and that was just not good. Not to say that nothing that I was doing on, like, the first half of the year, sorry, not semester, first half of the year, was, like, not accurate. It was just that I was trying too hard. Like, that's something that I do often. I just try way too hard. If there's something I'm super passionate about, I'm just like, I gotta start, like, like a week or days or something, like way too early. I gotta prepare, I gotta edit, I gotta go down into like the molecular structure of this thing. That's how meticulous I have to be. It's super like I don't know, just overachieving or something like that. But that's like how I like to do things. I like to really try too hard, I guess. That's how the live stream in last year kind of got a bit botched, because I was trying way too hard with it. This one, from what I can see, is not botched, thankfully. I'm gonna actually just double check, because it's always good to double check. So here's what. So I am gonna be trying as hard as I can. It's gonna be kind of oxymoronic, I guess. Trying as hard as I can to not try too hard. I'm gonna be keeping myself back from pushing myself too much, like, I guess exhausting myself, and stuff like that. It's I mean, I guess I'm doing that right now, like, trying to rush myself to talk and stuff, but I can't do that. If this stream becomes stale because of, like, something that I do, like, because I'm pausing too much or something, I can't do anything about that. I've tried and tried, but that's just who I am. I like to think through things very carefully if I can. And once I start forcing myself to, like, you know, driving myself through and trying to, like, just, you know, whatever, I just, you know, I break, essentially. I know anybody and everybody breaks at some point, but I would end up breaking a lot sooner. Which I guess relates to my personality in a way, and also kind of relates to my classes. I wanted to talk about my classes first, but I need to be kind of, like, open about all that, because that's kind of what happened with spring semester. If I, just to be, like, completely transparent about that, spring semester, I was really, like, I think, I'm trying to remember, like, everything that was happening. So, spring semester, if you had watched the second update, I was talking a lot about, like, with English specifically, the spring semester, it was a really difficult time. That was the semester that I was doing the grade forgiveness. That was the semester that I got the F. That was the semester that I was having, like, weekly anxiety attacks. It was the semester that completely trashed my confidence. That completely trashed me in, like, mentally and everything. It was a really bad time. Now that I think about it, I can't exactly say that was the worst semester. There were a lot of really great things. Getting to know, like, the people in my campus ministry, the things that we got to do, being able to get like really involved with Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, also in the campus ministry and stuff like that. And there were a lot of positives, but like especially near the end, I don't feel really comfortable with explaining everything that happened in the end, but I can at least say that if I had known what I now know, and if I had learned everything that I now have learned before, I would not have needed to be, I guess, being completely open, hospitalized. And part of the reason why all that happened does have to do with perfectionism, trying too hard. I am, I guess, an adamant perfectionist, if that makes sense. I don't know if I used adamant correctly. If something that I do isn't correct, I'm gonna try as hard as possible. Just then. Try as hard as possible to get it right. If you'd noticed that I redid the first update and sent it out. If I was to do it the perfectionist way, how I normally would, I don't even know what I'd do. I would have immediately taken it down, spent it probably would have been out next year or something. By next year I mean in early January, obviously, but I would have taken so much time and be so upset and everything, tearing myself down, and thankfully, Brian was able to help, tell me that it was that it was, wrong, something was wrong with it. I found out that it was just the first song in it that was off, but the rest of it was fine. But yeah, it was messed up, and normally I would do that, and I guess that relates to insecurity. Insecurity of feeling like I'm an idiot, like I'm just doing everything wrong. I guess, yeah, that was what I had to get through over this summer. Realizing that I'm not the worst, that I can compose, and that it's actually something that people like listening to and stuff like that. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking like that at all spring semester. I thought I was the worst, and I was just sending out the worst stuff. I thought of all of that. I thought that all these people were just trying to encourage me, but deep in their mind they're like, no, this is terrible. No. It's I'll listen to it once but never listen to it again. And throughout the summer, looking back through it after really hearing what people had to tell me, my parents and my aunt while I was in London, and what they had to tell me, it was no, I can actually make something decent. And from what I can hear, it's actually really good. And I don't know, I'm really glad that, again, I'm really glad that that's what people think. I'm really glad that it is, I guess. I have to stop thinking, oh, it's not, and I'm embarrassed just thinking that, but I have to just think, I guess, objectively about things, that I can make something that people really enjoy. So that's kind of all the stuff related to my English class. And then my media arts class was continued the whole perfectionist lore, and not lore, what's the word? Continued teaching me about perfectionism. I think I explained in the last update that things didn't go well primarily because I was putting something that my professor told me at the end of the semester relating to it was the fact that I wasn't letting things go. If there was something that I really, really wanted to put in there, it was like, that has to be in there, or I can't finish this, or something like that. It's like, or it wasn't even that. It has to be in there, and there's no other option. Like, I'm not stopping until until that part is in there. Like, when I switched. So, in the film, I switched from live action to animation, and I made sure to use an animation style that was going to be simpler and easier for me to do, and there was so much that I needed to put in. It's like, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking, this needs to be finished. This needs to be finished one way or another. And ended up screwing it up because of my own, like, desires and stuff like that. So it wasn't completely finished. In fact, I started polishing from the very beginning. As I was going through, I was polishing it up, going through polishing, and polishing takes as long as you have left. Meaning that you could go an infinite amount of time polishing. But we did not have an infinite amount of time. We had a semester, and I was trying too hard throughout the semester. So, still need to fix that. Still need to, grow in my perfectionism and in my, like, rigidness. It was good in a way that I was rigid for some things, because the parts that were good came out really well, but the parts that weren't good because of that rigidness. I'm sorry, this is really starting to bug me right here. I have a whole bunch of stuff just wrapped around the cord for this, and that was just bugging me the entire time. But because so I'm gonna have to learn about not being so rigid, and so and requiring perfection for myself, because I'm not perfect by any means. In fact, I kind of learned over the summer I have ADHD. I have learning disabilities related to writing and reading. If I have time to read something, I can read it well. Like, I finished some books within, if I finish books, pretty long books in a day. I've done stuff like that. But if I'm required to, but I have to read things one at a time if I'm supposed to read. I have to go through one word at a time, or I can't write. If I'm going to type something, I can't think and type at the same time. I need to think, speak, everything, and then I may need another person to type. There's no way I can do both, and I kind of learned that. And also with ADHD, I can't focus on things as well. And I know there are a lot of people who have ADHD, and they go through the same thing. So it's like, those are some of the reasons why I couldn't do English as well, why I can't write essays as well. And so over the summer and throughout the semester, this past semester, I was able to learn that, like, there are a lot of things that I need to, you know, what's it called? Well, accept and sort of, you know, sympathize with myself in a way. Yeah, sympathizing with myself. Not just sympathizing, empathizing. Cutting myself some slack. Like, there are a lot of things I can't do. And actually, like, the positives of those is the fact that this semester, like, I did really well in all the essays, which all connect back to each other. I wrote something on music copyright. That's why lately I've been really talking a lot about that. Copyright in general is really a mess. Anybody who's on YouTube and has heard a YouTuber mention it, that's literal proof that it is complete mess. I'm not gonna go into that because I could start firing I could start like blowing up like a fire and brimstone preacher on it. But yeah, I'll just continue on. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and you know what? I really don't know if anybody might be talking on chat. I made sure to allow chat to talk and everything, and if you want to talk to me, you can, but like, if you're not able to, it's fine. That's gonna, I don't know. I don't know. I can't see if there's anybody there, and so I don't know if it's something that's screwing up or if there's actually nobody there. But if there is, I remember during the last live stream that I couldn't see who was participating either. So, and there were actually a lot of people viewing, so that was kind of a strange thing. So I do actually need to talk about my accounts and my channel. So earlier in the year, beginning of summer, halfway through summer actually, I decided to end all of my my Facebook, the Uniquaria Sounds Facebook account, the Uniquaria Sounds Twitter account, the Patreon, and I think those are 3. I also left. There was the Social Play Discord, which is Discord for like I don't feel like explaining that. It's content creators, general content creators from different platforms. That's the explanation. And I kind of left all these things partially because it was getting really exhausting to try and do all these things, plus the fakeness that I was kind of like getting into my mentality that's like, oh, I need to do this for what, views and stuff, but that's not my focus. Primary focus in life now, especially related to more like, oh, the phone is ringing. I think it stopped. I should have bashed it. Oh well. So I just decided that I had to leave all of them. First, yeah, because it was getting exhausting, and second, because my focus wasn't in the correct place. My focus, especially in life right now, is school, and of course my faith. Those faith number one, of course. But school, which integrates into that, and actually faith integrates into everything else. But in terms of things of life, I guess school is number one. Number one, the channel and everything related to it feeds to the school, or the school feed, I don't know. I have the media arts major, meaning that I'm working on classes related to media. I upload the stuff that I upload my projects, any video related projects, to YouTube. That's how I continue to make more content besides just the music and these updates. It's a lot of it can be class projects. The 2018 medley was a class project. So it's like I'm just using YouTube as a way to build my, what's it called? Grow my skills, so that by the time I get to, so that I become better in my classes. Sorry, I just lost my focus. So I get better in my classes. And so ending accounts help me focus back, especially related to anxiety and depression. Anxiety, having so many accounts, and trying to interact with them too much, way too much. Only my parents were on the Patreon account, so it's like that had to be ended. There's really no point. I wasn't really, I guess, at this moment, I'm not really doing anything that requires funding. There's a point where I probably would want to do that, but I'll explain that. I'll do that farther down the road. But let's see. I would like to move forward from that. Actually, I kind of want to talk a bit about the personality thing. So, you notice all of these kind of quirks that my hand movements, the hand movements, more like hand movements, pauses, and all this stuff. All you're seeing right now, and I think all you saw, and some of the things that you saw during the 2017 live stream, all those are just quirks that make up my personality. In fact, I just really need to be open about this. you don't always see all of my personalities. Of course, nobody will ever see all of each other's personalities. There's a lot of me that's a whole lot more vibrant, jumpy, and everything. I can't completely show that just because that's not the side of me that's really feeling it right now, you know? I do like to be excitable. I do like to be a whole variety of different, like, personalities that you might see, might not see. It's very vibrant, but you don't always get to see that. But again, back to the quirks and stuff, that's just who I am. In fact, pauses, again, the repeating words, all that stuff. I don't know. I know there are other people who do those things. It's just that I feel as if not trying to hide those things is part of hiding me, who I am. If that's not quality content, if a pause or an or super hand movements that start to distract people, I'm sorry. To take those away is like taking me away. Then it's no longer a YouTube channel. It's professionalism. It's not me. And that is not how I'm going to be performing at all. I'm going to be performing based off of my own personality. That's just it. So I guess I really will want to start ending this. I do kind of want to do something related to this. I changed the screens that I'm using. But on this screen I'm looking at OBS because I want to see what's happening here. But I just remembered that all this also part of my personality. The music that I'm playing on this, besides my own music, anything outside, anything that doesn't say Uniquaria Sounds at the end, that is music that I like. I can't show all of it because content ID. These ones are ones that I checked, double checked, triple checked, that they wouldn't get like hit by content ID. Who knows? At some point, somebody's gonna be like, ha, ha, ha! I could just get that song, snatch it for content ID, get all the money from it, ha ha. Hello, this is another possession of mine. Ha! But all these songs that are played, are just songs that I love. I have been going back and forth, and a lot more of back in my self-consciousness, back to my self-consciousness about the music that I listen to. I know that the majority of my 100 favorites songs of all time, 100 favorites of all time, are songs that like are older or are like of a smaller group appreciates it. And I was looking at the kilobytes per second and it's just dropped for a second. Sorry, distracting myself. So all that is just, I guess I really want to share me in as many ways as possible. And actually, I'm adding more stuff, but all of these things I've been thinking about throughout the past couple days, all the times I've been working on updates, I've been thinking, I think, the most about this particular update, because it is the most important to the rest of the channel, the rest of history for this channel, I guess. I completely forgot what I was going to say. I need to remember it. So you know that a lot of people, when it comes to YouTube, a lot of people are either show their face, show their life, show everything, or show a very little portion of it. And I feel as if I want to be somewhere in the middle. I know that there are a lot of things that I really can't, share. I wouldn't feel comfortable with sharing, especially the fact that that there always comes a point that if somebody gets popular enough, people are going to be wanting to know more, and suddenly that whole privacy part just goes completely out the window. You can't have a private life anymore. And I know I'm definitely not at that point yet. I don't know if I'll ever be at that point. But it's really important to, I guess, it's important for me to think about that, because I do. So actually, I think part of the reason why I need that relates to my personality. Despite what people would realize, number one, I'm an introvert. I really like being around people a lot. I get super, super exhausted if I'm around people too much. In fact, as I was working on the live stream, I remember I would get so exhausted working on doing live streams, because I had to I guess act in a certain way. It was super exhausting. And that's the last of my water. And also, number two, I'm very shy. Which is why are you doing this if you're shy? I've been able to get myself through that. I've been in, I've been in theater, and stuff like that, and I've also, and there was actually a point, when my shyness got very bad, singing on my own, because everybody else just stopped singing, and that just took my confidence down and stuff. So yeah, I was really shy. I'm still very shy. If I'm in a place, if I'm just walking around campus and I see a large group of people, mostly the campus tours and rising seniors and everything, if I see them, I'm gonna make sure to try and get around them. I just don't usually I like being around people, but at the same time don't like being around people too much. So when it comes to the whole privacy stuff, that relates to me being shy and an introvert. If I'm just imagining somebody who's really famous, if they were an introvert and they we're being like constantly chased by people and stuff like that. I guess I could use Jaden as an example. Jaden Animation. Like, I'm sure when she goes to VidCon and everything, she enjoys. I would infer or assume or presume, whatever the best word is for that, that when she goes to VidCon, she really enjoys doing that, joins meeting people and everything, but at the same time, I'm sure, like, it does get pretty exhausting to be around people. It's like against them, it's just personality, it's just where she's getting her, what's it called, her energy from. So, and that's kind of like something that I guess I worry about in particular, if I'm gonna continue doing this, and if I decide to do YouTube or something related to media long term, and it goes to the point where more people know about me, I'm gonna have to think about these things. And I guess that also relates to my personality. I think very critically about a lot of things, even hypothesizing and just what ifs. What if I go throughout, like, I will I would just imagine huge scenarios with what ifs, which can be positive and negative to my mental health, but it's just how I am. Oh, and it's getting really bad. Hey, sorry. Hey, Brian. Wow. I just completely lost my train of the stream is going kind of bad, but it looks as if it's starting to, it's trying. It's really trying. But I really got to move forward with this. So again, I still think about those things. Which I guess brings me to the end of this, the future of the channels. I do have channels. I really kind of want to consolidate things to one channel, and I even want to change the channel name. Uniquaria Sounds is, first of all, kind of difficult to say. I will admit it based off of how difficult it is for other people to say. I remember it because I've said it literally every single update, every time I talk about it, which isn't all too much. And sometimes if I talk about it, I don't even say it, unless somebody asks. And then, but don't really want to consolidate them because I like the fact that Uniquaria Sounds is primarily music of a variety of types. I don't want to, like, I guess, get it all cluttered with other things. Updates are very much an exception, and I remember moving the updates to the other channel, Uniquarius. Uniquarius is where I do the variety, where I just spend time, like, making stuff, sharing class projects that do not relate to music and stuff like that. And that's what I do with that one. And I know that when you start, I only have 28 people who subscribe to me. When you start, you're not gonna really need that niche. I get, yeah, you don't usually make a niche channel from when you start, but I like that focus. Not to mention, I don't want to make multiple channels because then it gets really exhausting and I can't do that. I'd be spreading myself too thin. Again, perfectionism and all that stuff, that's part of what I do that I need to fix. And speaking of having to make channels, I did also set up one more channel. This one doesn't relate to music or variety. It's related to the D&D group that I'm a part of. What's it called? When we play the game, each session, I like to record it, and we were also thinking of doing a podcast. The other guys they still say they're interested. I'm always skeptical about that because usually when it's something that usually when it's something I'm interested in that's not in classes, and is something that I'm taking a more primary focus, I set up the channel, and anything else related to the podcast, which is what it's gonna be, I put a whole bunch of effort in. Usually when that happens, it falls flat, it fails and stuff like that. That's the reason why I wanted to do the medley through school. That's why I need to do the medley through the class, because it was that catch to keep it from falling through. So I mean, I guess I wanted to mention the channel. It's called Questions Yes, and I realized that I may need to either do something about that, whether or not we're going to continue with that. I need to let them know if I can do that or not. I need to make those decisions. And also with the accounts, I don't know if I can bring those back. I guess I have to, I realize that, because the people on Musescore that I share my music with, the sheet music, there was a whole thing where there was somebody who had shared my Just the Way You Are arrangements, the music for it, the sheet music and the music on YouTube. That I need to thank them for. That was sorry. I'm restarting words in my head. It's another thing I do. I'm glad that that all those people think that it was really great enough to share it. And also, and there's a whole lot to do with that. I'm really sorry about the length of this. But something about the way I handled it was really bad. He ended up taking it off, and I'm really sorry, dude, that happened. I would totally be fine if you re-uploaded that video or anything like that. I'd be totally fine with that. And I think part of the rules I have on Musescore is if you're gonna create something with it or share a version of it or anything like that, share it with me, and I know, or let me know or anything like that. And I know the way that it was written originally sounds like contact me first. It's like I'm trying to control, and well, at some point there was sort of a uneasiness about it, because when it comes to copyright and other people, and it's like you don't want people to take credit for what you do. I still really do want people to create things based off of what I've made. I know Ryan, who is on who's watching, has created a remix that takes sort of the same. Well, actually, so the remix is with the same schematic. It's the same chord progression as Blending In, and he talked to me about that, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see him share it. I hope that you share it, Brian. I'm sure it would be really cool that for people to see that. Wait, hold up. Oh, it's a different song that's playing right now. But with YouTube, with the stuff, people on Musescore, what I really want, the reason why I'd want them to talk to me is so that I can share their stuff. I can also promote their stuff. I want to be able to help other people promote themselves, like promote their work and everything, and that I think that would be really cool to do. Like, if you enjoy the stuff I make and you want to make, if you enjoy like original, it's usually better with original music. If you enjoy the original music, want to make an arrangement, I want to be able to promote that arrangement and stuff like that and share it with others and stuff. If you enjoyed an arrangement I did, then I'd want, and you play the music from it or something like that, if it's not as crazy, like large of an arrangement as some of the ones I've done. But even if you could do that, wow, that's amazing. But then again, I was able to get an ensemble to help me with this 2018 medley. But if somebody makes it, performs it, I want to be able to share that too. Like, share what other people make. I think that would be really cool to do. So that's why I want to talk about the channel and accounts that connect to the channel, because I do need to make an account that people can connect to and talk to me, because Musescore doesn't have a way to do that. YouTube technically doesn't really have a way to do that, and plus not that many people use Google Plus. So I really need to figure out whether I need to use Facebook, and I want to use Facebook because I already made this Facebook account first before I ended it, and it's a lot easier for me to connect to most of the people who subscribe to me and watch the stuff I do. Most of those people, from what I remember, are on Facebook, but at the same time, the reason why I need to do Twitter is because I know there are a lot more people and probably even more people who are on Musescore who will be on Twitter, and I need to do one. I can't do both, so I really need to figure out which one I'm going to do, or actually if I'm going to do that. If I can, then I can, but I honestly can't decide. I know usually when I ask like your opinions on things, it doesn't always go so well, just because I know part of that was because there was trying too hard, which ended up being kind of like fake. Gonna be open about that. There was some fakeness to it, just trying to, promote and stuff, trying to get into the hype of YouTube and stuff like that. But this time, I know I'm gonna have to make a final decision on it. But I really would like to know what other people think about that, because both are really important. Again, most of the people that subscribe to me are already on Facebook, so I can interact with them. There's people who like the account that might be sharing with me more will be on Twitter, so they need access to that. And just like something that I also need to include is the fact that I will not be using them as much. If I'm going to be sharing something, it's going to be sharing the fact that I'm uploading another thing, just another way to do that. I might try to be like, interacting with people through those, but I've learned that I can't do as much with social media as other people can. In fact, it's really, if I do it too much, it's really bad for my mental health. In fact, I think it's just bad for anybody's mental health to continue to be using social media. I learned that one the hard way. After not using social media for so long, I felt so much better. But I do want to still be able to interact with people if I can. So I'm going to be only using one. I'm not going to be as into it. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be as into it as other people who use social media are. From what people who already connect to me know, I barely use it. I barely use it use Facebook throughout the semester. Wade has been constantly complaining about that, but it's like, listen, I can't do that. I really like to focus on the work I do, and doing that distracts me, and also adds to the pressure of I need to finish things, but I have this other thing I'm focusing on. So if I'm not sharing anything besides the YouTube channel, or some of these things that are important to me, like the copyright thing, especially with the Fat Rat, why does that have to happen? If it's really important, I'll share it, but if anything else, it's just gonna be sharing these videos that I upload. I've been repeating myself. I need to stop. So that's all. Again, I really would like to hear what you guys want to say about it. I guess the only way that you could do it is in the comments. And I mean, if you don't put anything there, it's fine. I will figure it out. I'm not saying that to guilt trip you or anything. I really don't want to do that at all. No. Because it's sleazy. I feel it's sleazy. But in all honesty, I would like to know what people think. And I also like to interact with them. I like to get to know people. Which is kind of why I want to, interact with social media, but interact directly with people, which is why social media isn't always the best, because you're not just interacting directly with people. I can't. This will be another hour if I continue to talk about that. So I want to finalize it with. I want to finish all this by talking with that. that's all I have to say. I've talked about, let's see, I have discussed the date and time of Medley. I've done the thank yous. I've talked about my classes and the short film and perfectionism and Medley channel and openness and personality and the future of channel. Clusters, yes. Just let me know now. I've said that almost as if it was like a bad thing. Yes, I'm an ultra nerd. I play D&D. Talking about the account. Yeah, that's all for this update, for this live stream. For those of you who are watching, who have been watching, thank you again, Brian, for watching. That felt weird. It felt weird to say just because, I don't know, something about it was just weird. I am weird. Okay, and thank you for anybody else who has been watching, who I really can't tell is watching because of whatever is going on. I hope that you guys enjoyed this really long rant. I hope that you got something out of it. You got the music out of it. Has it finished? Nope. Good. And I hope that, I really, really hope that you watch the next update and Medley. Really hope that you watch the Medley. I can't express it enough. It would be really important to me that you watch it. I'm calming myself down. I need to do that every so often. It's just something I need to do to really refocus myself. I've done that quite a lot lately, and it's just an extra thing, a bonus information. So, Medley, I really hope that, like, with these updates, the last update and the next update, I really hope that you guys, if it interested you and you know somebody who might be interested in any of the things that I share, or that I upload and so I guess you share it with them. That's the primary thing I want to do, to be able to encourage others to do what I make. I think I said that in the next update, that's what I do. It's a way to encourage people. I'm not really good with, I'm not always the best with formal communication, like verbal communication, in a way that gets people to be encouraged and stuff like that. I would definitely be a terrible preacher. So I guess using another skill to encourage people is what I want to do. That's why I like if people share it. If you like it, but that is not the important part. That's not the important part. Encouraging others is the important part. And so, like, okay, so number 2, what's it called? Sorry, I'm I like to, when I'm thinking about something, I like to act as if it's in the space, even though it's not there. That's what this is. That's what all that was. So the second update, that one is that one is important because people who are like in college and in high school, I feel this the stuff near the end is like the stuff that I would like them to like, you know, hear. And then the final update, the people on the Discord, Social Blade Discord, I would like to say thank you to them in that update, because I don't know if they realize how much they do help people. They definitely help me in a way they probably wouldn't have realized. And sharing it with other people who I can't access because of the end of the other accounts. And also it's a thank you. So I want to share that thank you to all of you, everybody and everything. So, and I guess all of the stuff that I share, that I make, sharing that's the most important thing for me. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Again, thank you for another great year, eventful year, but great year. I'm really glad that I was able to continue with this. There was a point where I was almost not able to, but again, thank you for watching. So long, farewell, golly. And I need to switch scene, so let's quickly do that. So,